Oh my gosh, I know you guys are probably watching the election coverage, but I promise that nothing super exciting is happening for at least a couple more hours. So come and talk to us about what science nerdy stuff has to do with your life. Hi, I'm Rena with BeARealBeauty.com, and I am back from Nashville and here waiting for election results with my Love Conquers Hate shirt. Yay! And I want to talk to you a little bit about something that I've been thinking about all weekend long. So, you guys ever heard of Newton's first law of motion? It works something like this. An object that is still will stay still unless another object comes and puts it into motion. An object that is in motion will stay in motion unless an object stops it from motion. We all learned that in science class, right? How once something is moving, it'll stay moving unless something stops it. And you need something to push in order to get moving. So what does that have to do with your life? Well, I was thinking about that a lot this weekend because I made this big commitment to this 100-day video challenge. And if you have been following it, you might have noticed I've missed the past few days. We went to Nashville for a wedding and things got crazy and I drank a little too much beer and stuff like that. And so I really kind of I fell off the wagon. My motion was stopped by things going on in my life. And I think that we run into that a lot, especially when we're trying to form new habits, like I'm trying to do making these videos. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how to keep yourself in motion and what to do to get back in motion when you are stopped. This is something that I have learned in two areas of my life really successfully, and that's exercise and daily writing. Those are things that I struggled with for years and years and years for getting them to be a part of my daily habits, and I have gotten to the point finally with those two important habits where it's rare for me to miss a day, and if I do miss a day, I feel like something's wrong. I feel like I've missed something important because they've become so ingrained in who I am. But getting that motion to stay perpetual took a long time, and it's really, really hard to start again once you stopped. That's why when on Friday I said, oh, I'm tired, we've been flying all day, it doesn't matter if I miss a video. One day quickly turned into 4 days, and now I am back here begging for your forgiveness, right? Don't let this happen to you. So how do we do that? We break our motion down into tiny little steps. Instead of trying to run big giant sprints and jumping all these hurdles all at once, we break it down into tiny little steps that make it hard to fail. The first thing that I ever did this with was writing. And I promised myself that all I needed to do is write for 2 minutes every single day. And as long as I wrote for those 2 minutes, it was a win. And once I did that, once I'd written for those 2 minutes every day, I celebrated it. And over time, I built that up to 3 pages. And now it's something that I do every day, and I've done every day for years. The same thing with exercise. I started with an app on my phone you guys might have heard of, the 7-minute, something like 7-minute exercise app or something like that. I'll post a link to it. And I said, as long as I do these 7 minutes every day, and then after a while, I added on a 90-second plank. Oh, if I do these 90-second planks every day. Because the reality was that we had kept trying to do these big exercise routines over and over and over again, and we kept failing because I kept failing at doing these big exercise routines over and over and over again. I'd get like 2 weeks into a 45 or 50-minute long exercise routine and decide I didn't have time for it. Now I do a 30-minute to a 45-minute exercise routine every single day, but it started with 7 minutes. And so what I want you to think about is how can you break things down into those tiny little motions? Because guess what, guys? You're in motion if you're going like this. You're in motion if you're going like this. But if you're stopped, standing still, because you haven't been able to accomplish this huge thing, you're not in motion anymore and you're not going forward. So today has really made me think about things like this because it's election day in the US and I am sitting here nervously awaiting election results after having a few really rough days business-wise, great days personally, rough days business-wise. sitting here waiting for election results and thinking about what that's going to mean for me as a professional over the next few years, because you guys know I put my politics and my business very close together. If you've followed me for very long at all, you know that those things go hand in hand. And so this really matters to me, both to my bottom line and to my daily life, and of course to our country. So I'm committed to staying back in motion for the final 53 days of the year, regardless of what happens today in the election. But I really, really hope that love wins, that unity wins, and we have our first female president tomorrow. So take those big goals, break them down, and whatever happens tonight, please join my friend Heather at 8:30 p.m. and sending out a meditation or some good energy or a prayer, if that's your belief system, to the rest of our country. Help bring it back together, and I'll be sharing some information about her event underneath here. One final thing before I go today, by popular demand, we have scheduled an encore sprint day. The people that participated in the last one really got some amazing results. So on November 29th, you'll be able to join us again for another sprint day where you'll work on a big project, and I'll give you prizes if you stay committed and check in with me. So look for the details for that on our page, and we'll talk about it more in the next video. For now, I recommend not turning on the television it's 5:45 here on the East Coast, so I recommend not turning on the television until at least 8 o'clock. It won't accomplish anything. All you're gonna do is worry. Please go vote if your polls are still open, if you're out on the West Coast or whatever, and we're all going to see each other tomorrow, no matter what happens, so hug your neighbor. I'm Rena with BeARealBeauty.com, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.